Armchair Imagineers. Tiki here.
And BlueDragonFive.
And it's time to put on makeup. It's time to light the lights. It's time to meet the Muppets on the Muppet Show tonight. That's right. We're talking about ABC's modern meta take on the Muppets. And tonight we're here to discuss episode 7 of the new series entitled Pigs in a Blackout.
So Tiki, why don't we get things started?
On the most sensational,
celebrational,
Muppetational, this is what we call
the
Muppet Show Again. Enough with the pig puns, creep! I'm just saying, it's getting a little repetitive. It's literally like all the titles are pig puns for the most part.
Well, it's based around the fact she has a show.
Yeah, I know, but luckily there's actually a Gonzo-centric episode coming down the pipeline.
Oh, we had a Fozzie
title.
We had a Fozzie one so far.
That's true. We did have a Fozzie one. So, anyways, BlueDragonFive, I don't know about you, but I kind of loved this episode.
I thought it was solid, but there's an element I wasn't too crazy about. But it wasn't bad. It was.
Let me guess. Bateman.
Yeah, it wasn't my preference of Bateman.
Is it just because you don't like him personally?
No. I mean, the thing with Bateman, we'll get into it in the episodes real quick, is that Bateman, he's hit or miss for me. Sometimes I like him, sometimes I don't. This one was a lot of Bateman I don't like in movies.
But you do realize that the whole entire point of his character here is to be unlikable.
I know we'll get into it.
Okay.
It's my taste. Again, it's a solid episode. I'm just saying, for my taste, it didn't elevate it to great. That was solid. It was everything else I thought was fine.
I'm going to make a bold comparison here. I think the pilot is the Muppet movie. Or, I'm sorry, you know what I mean.
There are some great moments in this, which we'll get into, obviously. But
I think this is the goddamn Muppets Take Manhattan of this series so far.
Well, I disagree with that. So, let's get into it.
Wait, did I say Muppets Take Manhattan?
Yes, you said Muppets. Yeah, you said Muppets Take Manhattan. That's why I'm disagreeing with that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant Great Muppet Caper.
Well, no, that's still off.
It's just so zany, man. It's just there are so many zany elements in this episode. So let's get right into it.
Yeah.
So we start things off relatively quietly with Kermit the Frog. He likes to enjoy a peaceful morning, just enjoying his sign and thinking, gee, I sure made it big from coming from the swamps of the Mississippi. Now, BlueDragonFive, correct me if I'm wrong here, but didn't the Muppets Go to Disney World canonically place Kermit in Florida?
Well, no, remember, that's his family, though. It's not exactly him.
Yeah, that's his family, but I mean, you assume that he grew up in Florida or Mississippi with his family.
Well, remember, when we find him in it means that he grew up there. Doesn't mean that's where we find him in the Muppet movie. He could have migrated swamps, found his own place.
Fair enough.
I mean,
something I noticed.
Again, the way I kind of think of it is like that's kind of his cousins he's visiting or something, like a distant family.
That's true. That's a good
That's
point.
what I thought it was. That's why I guess, I assume it's a different swamp. Then again, I mean, grew up, he could have migrated. I don't know.
Okay. Anyways.
To be honest, I think it works better if he stays in one swamp. But I'm saying that's his distant family in Florida. That's my guess. Anyway, so it's really nice seeing Kermit kind of just humbly reflecting on the simple pleasures of having a parking spot with his name on it and just showing you the sign just like tilts over. It's like, oh, poor Kermit, can't even get his parking sign working right. Anyway,
Sweetums comes in. Yeah.
So Williams is driving one of the golf carts that populates the studio lot, and he's driving a block of butter that it's hot out there, and apparently is melted and gone over the brakes, and
there's butter on the brakes. There's butter on the brakes.
Which basically all heck breaks out once Sweetums kind of crashes right into the studio.
And then we enter the set of Birdman.
Yeah, this was a great. I'm so glad you pointed this out. Just like how rewatching it holds up so well, knowing it's a Birdman homage.
Oh, it's totally a Birdman homage. It has to be, especially with him directly calling out the drumming.
Have you ever seen the Big Bird Birdman parody?
Yes, I have. and the world will look up and you'll say, fa la 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 la.
Anyway, so Kermit following in on the chaos, what's going on? We got our Birdman kind of stress drum music playing, which is
amazing.
It's very well directed too. Kind of direct, camera moving in the style of Birdman too, in a way.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see like them get super ambitious and do just a whole episode in the Birdman style, like making it look like a single shot. Yeah. But that's a little ambitious.
I would lose it if they got Michael Keaton to do something like that.
Oh my god!
Because you know how much I love Michael Keaton.
Oh yeah! Oh yeah!
He's dying. Anyway, so let's see. So, Kermit's kind of attending to the chaos there, and basically it's a string of stressful chaos unfolding here. Sweetums, you okay? No problem, Caroline. Someone get Sweetums to the nurse. Basically, this is a really great sequence. This opening here is just really great. Seeing Kermit to get stress compounding upon and building to an ultimate crescendo with this next bit here. So, why the butter? Well, Patrick Dempsey, he came down poison. What are you gonna do? Rub it all over him? No, come on, Kermit.
Ew, no, Kermit, ew.
Yeah, the butter. Basically, he called in. He can't do it, so the Swedish chef's gonna carve Miss Piggy's head out of butter. Like Dempsey would let me rub butter all over him. I mean, come on.
Could you imagine?
Could you imagine?
Oh god.
Anyway, because Dempsey's canceled the chef's carving the butter. Let's see. So there's panic over the melting butter too from the Swedish chef.
Mm-hmm. Somebody get this butter on ice.
Yep.
Animal, could you play those drums any louder?
Louder?
Okay. Yep. And that's what I knew. Like, okay, it maybe like at first I thought like, wait, this is giving me Birdman vibes with this drumming and everything. And then as soon as they called out the drumming, I was like, yep, Birdman, totally Birdman.
And also, Chip, Chip, can you mop up? Well, I never mopped before, but couldn't be
also,
that hard.
I want to point out a line from Chip that we unfortunately missed from the last episode.
Which was?
When Kermit tells Chip to close the laptop, and then Chip's just like, but then I wouldn't know what to do with my eyes.
I mentioned that.
Oh, did you? Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, I apologize. It must have been when I was like, I must have been cut off or something. I apologize.
Yeah. Anyway, so Yolanda's then.
Well, it's such a great line. I wanted to mention it again.
Sure. Anyways, then Yolanda is walking up to Kermit and just like asking what he wants for the Mexican lunch order, and says, "Well, same thing I got last time." Says, "Wait, well, I forgot what you got last time."
Yeah, classic, just Birdman walking through the hallways.
Anyway, then this one was pretty funny. Gonzo and then Pepe, Gonzo, Pepe, and I believe Rizzo too. They walk up to Kermit and they pitch him they got a great sketch idea for Dempsey, and then then they breaks it in. Well, no, Dempsey's a no-show. Well, okay, we'll just put the block of butter in there. So she's dreaming she's making out with a block of Piggy's having a dream she's making out with a block of butter.
Ah, that's better and more realistic.
Then Uncle Deadly, and our best character in this series so far.
Uncle Deadly is just fucking amazing this episode.
I gotta tell you, this might take the cake for my favorite of Uncle Deadly so far, but I hesitate to say that because he just keeps topping himself because he's awesome.
I got to admit, it's hard to top the whole bit about the one single caramel drizzle.
Just one pump of Oh god. Anyway, so Uncle Deadly basically says, "Okay, Piggy won't sign off on the winter wear. It's basically being delivered in a refrigerated truck. And well, why don't you just have her do it? Well, if only were that simple. She's stuck in the elevator."
Oh boy.
So
that kind of ends the Birdman stuff, but just an amazing couple of minutes there. Really good stuff.
It's a strong opening. So far, they're kind of hitting this all comedy cylinders here. Really nice.
And then the elevator stuff, I think, is also good. So let's go through it.
I mean, what's great about this whole opening here is it's just kind of like classic Muppet Show. It's like classic.
Oh, absolutely.
Behind the scenes, but in a new setting, which makes sense. So anyway,
this is my worst nightmare, Kermit. Everyone's staring at my legs.
At our ankles.
Your ankles, yeah.
And Uncle Dale's like, "Don't worry, I'll get some emergency jeggings." There are no jeggings. All she has now is the Klingon to hope.
Hope is what she needs now.
Meanwhile, again, I love this too. I mean, one of my second favorite characters. Again, I believe both of these guys had made their resurgence in the Muppets coming back. Really, Uncle Deadly and Bobo the Bear.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Bobo is just he's working the control panels because he apparently used to be in the service and he has some military experience. This bear, it kind of makes sense because he was somewhat government affiliated in Muppets from Space, so I don't know, maybe that's an experience.
Right.
Makes sense. He's all the controls because I guess he was good at rewiring stuff and hot wiring stuff. And he says, "Well, Bobo, where are you on? Do you know what you're doing?" "Oh yeah, sure." I mean, it's the controls for an elevator. It must be the same thing as a helicopter. Practically the same thing. Anyways, then he mixes up the wiring, and then from up to down, he's all the way down. And then she says,
"Now everybody's staring at my forehead, and I'm about to go get Botox."
Bobo tries to adjust, and she goes way up there, and then Fozzie.
Hold on. I have a little bit of an issue with this thing because couldn't they just technically pull her up?
Well, I mean, they could. That's the gay. Like, Bobo's not like Kermit tries to stop him after that.
Okay. Because I've watched this like 3 times, and every time I've seen it, I'm just like, no, just pull her up. Just pull her up.
It's like because she's complaining about Bobo, it's like a quick split of the moment decision. Like, okay, I'll fix it.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah, so as it happens, they really get to the no-no-nos when Fozzie's like, "Oh, hey, Kermit, I need to go up for a second." They're like, "No, Fozzie, no!" And then he falls down. "I think there's something wrong with the elevator."
Really good comedic timing.
And now I was really concerned for a moment with this bit here. I mean, Kermit, I was wondering how realistic they were going to go with this, but they kept it a safe yet respectable level. Here is that Kermit the Frog, he's so stressed out. First, he says, "Oh, I don't feel so well." Then he just passes out. For a second there, I thought the stress might have taken a realistic toll on him, physical toll on him. Thankfully, don't get me wrong, equally.
Nothing's going to take as much of a toll on him as the ice bucket challenge did.
Yeah, but I thought they were going to get into maybe kind of some, needing medical attention. Like,
well, yeah.
Thankfully he's okay though. I mean, it still was a scary moment though. Kermit the Frog, like, "Oh, I don't feel so well." Then just passing out, like, "No, Kermit."
There was a backlash against Mexicans, so we're going Greek.
Awful. Okay. Meanwhile, so after our open,
like, "Oh, falafel, get me one of those too."
But no shawarma. That's the real crime. So Kermit awakens, and Janice is cleansing his aura with crystals, kind of a crystal healing thing. And I believe Andy Kaufman also kind of believed in this.
And also Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, you forgot to put in the crystals.
Okay, let's see. So Dr. Bunsen Honeydew is trying to help out by engaging Kermit's temperature with one of those little cool little, there's these really cool little devices. There's little laser scanners that kind of tell the temperature, but he's got the wrong one. He's a scientist after all, and according to Saul Goodman, scientists love lasers.
Oh, of course.
Especially Walter White.
Oh dear. That is like one of the things in Better Call Saul that I'm most looking forward to, seeing that goddamn laser tag arena.
I want to see an action sequence in Better Call Saul, like someone with actual guns maybe firing around the places he's trying to dodge.
Okay.
Anyway, maybe he blinds the guy with it too in the middle. Like, takes a laser gun and just blinds the guy, because you're not supposed to do that, folks. It's very dangerous. The guy maybe tries to sue him or something.
Oh god.
Anyway, so
next on Direct Ears, Better Call Saul.
Okay, but back to the episode. So Honeydew accidentally burns Kermit. Janice is there to help, and Sam is at the ready, providing moral support, but really, he's a bird of prey.
Whenever I see something I want, I swoop. And he awkwardly just tosses a couple things over.
He knocks something over. Yeah, I think we're rooting for Sam here because it's we've all been there.
Oh my god, it is so relatable. It is so fucking relatable. It's not even funny. But I don't think many people are buying this whole Sam and Janice thing. What do you think? There's been some backlash about it.
Well, I'll tell you what. I was more sold on it the first time. Here, I thought it was still building like Sam's moments here, but I don't know. It's I think there are moments where Sam's like trying a little too hard. Like the whole like, oh, I'm like Me too. Like that's a little much. I mean, that's
yeah. I hear you.
But I mean, moments of like the whole "You've been to Hawaii, I've been to Hawaii."
Yeah,
Like
I was
that.
a little more mixed on it as well, but I don't hate it by any stretch.
Yeah, I'm still on board for it.
And
I'll tell my real issue with it is real still is not really actually anything against it. It's just like I still can't stop staring at her uvula. It's like weird me out.
Oh god. Well, it doesn't weird Sam out, so that's the only thing that
I know. I'm just again nothing really against it. Okay, anyway, so then Denise shows up to comfort Kermit.
Mm-hmm.
Playing nursemaid essentially. Anyway, so then Sam and Janice are dismissed, and they mention snorkel. This I thought was hilarious. This is why I'm like still on board for it. We get moments like this. I'll just Sam asking, "Well, you've been to Hawaii, so have I." He says, "Well, have you ever gone snorkeling?" He says, "Oh no, it's invading this fish's privacy." He says, "Oh, that's why I say, are you decent before I snorkel?"
That is like such a Sam eagle.
Yeah, and then at this moment here, this is where your heart goes out to the poor eagle. Says,
oh my God!
Blowing this, we've
blowing this.
I love the mundanity of relationship woes with Sam Eagle, as he's still, he's not out of character. He's just like it's what he does on the side. That's why it works for me.
If you haven't been in this situation before at some time in your life, you are lying. That's all I'll say.
Okay, so Kermit again.
You. All right, I'm sorry. I'm done being creepy.
Good. So, Kermit awakens, and I love this idea. So this is where they're kind of starting to maybe sell me a little more on Denise, where Denise is run to Kermit. Then Piggy is also in competition with Denise here. It's like comforting Kermit. I love Miss Piggy this episode. She was on spot on this episode. It's perfect Piggy for me. She's great.
Yeah, she was totally.
She had some funny moments, and she wasn't annoying or making you think like, how can these people work on this show with this impossible starlet? Like there is a bit of actual concern there. I mean, she does really care for Kermit, and implied here maybe a lot more than she would like to let on.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And basically, they both kind of come up with the idea of like, why don't you go to this Malibu spa? I mean, Piggy trying to take credit for it, and a little bit of back and forth there. I'm a little off. Again, my timing's off. All right, all the elevator stuff got me fussed out.
Well, they're kind of going back and forth. They're like, "Oh, you're always helping everyone else. It's time to do something for." And then Denise says, "You," and then Piggy's like, "Me." And then Denise is like, "What is the matter with you?" "Oh, my timing's off, okay?"
That's what I'm saying. Give me more scenes like this to make me buy into maybe some of the Denise stuff. And give me just insert her into the story like this, and more stuff.
Sure.
Okay, so basically the main thing they point out is they've said, Kermit, why don't you go to this Malibu spa take a long week, take the rest of the day off, take the next 2 days, long weekend, you come back all relaxed and such.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a realistic thing. I really love the episode. Like Kermit the Frog is a stressed out guy. And again, it's not healthy for him, so he's got to find some way to calm down, some way to blow off some steam.
Oh, absolutely.
It's all at a place of helping, kind of a realistic, kind of mundane struggle that Kermit the Frog has to go to. It's like looking at the old Muppet Show. It's amazing he could get through putting on one production without keeling over.
Yeah.
So, Kermit announces he's fine. Zoot says, "Oh, you sure? Because you're looking kind of green." I'm always green, Zoot. So he says, "Oh, well, then you look great. Thank you. But he's taking the rest of the day off, and Scooter's in charge." Now, I love this. Is what's been building so far is that, Kermit and Scooter, they've worked together many years, and Scooter is kind of the number 2 guy to take control. He runs things if Kermit's not.
I would wager to say that this might be the biggest running storyline of the whole season. This whole Scooter and Kermit dynamic.
Yeah, it makes sense. Always a kind of nice unspoken thing, as we mentioned before, is that, Scooter's just the gopher, and they've kind of always had that kind of back and forth of like, Kermit tells Scooter to do something and he gets it done. Of course, in the Muppets, the 2011 version, he was able to take the stage. A little show of respect there.
Oh yeah.
So see, Gonzo thinks
I love the acting on Scooter when Kermit says he's going to run the show. It's just, it's like the puppetry is just amazing in his face. He's just like,
So then Gonzo interjects in a little talking head where he says, he thinks it should have been him because he has stunt experience. He did so many stunts on the original Muppet Show, which again, it's kind of interesting. They're kind of calling the Muppet Show into continuity here, perhaps. He's great at stress management because of that. And Gonzo raises a valid point. He can handle stress, and he's conditioned for that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was fired from a cannon through Niagara Falls. Then again, he was supposed to fly over Niagara Falls, but, check wind resistance when you do that sort of thing.
So, Scooter's just giving this big over... I'm sorry, Dragon, I'm getting a little bit of an echo on my end when I talk.
Yeah. What about now?
Well, I think it's good. Okay. So Scooter's giving almost kind of like an Oscar acceptance speech for being put in charge. He's like, okay, I first want to thank my great Grammy Siska and also my cousins Katranka, Malanka, and Patunki. She made good soup. That she made good soup line, I gotta say, that on my rewatch, that just cracked me up. I literally had to pause the video. She made good soup.
And Kermit mentions use Yolanda, as your assistant, and have a good day, everyone.
And Yolanda has a great pitch. She's just like, oh yeah, I just love being passed around to any rando you put in charge. Oh yeah, it's great. It's my fave.
Oh, Yolanda.
She's quickly becoming one of my favorites on the show as well.
It's kind of interesting. She is kind of more the Rizzo role in this than Rizzo has been in the show.
In a way, Rizzo's a little underplayed in the show, which is kind of nice considering he was
a big a-hole in that one episode.
Right, that's true. But I'm saying he had his time to shine in the 90s, I think. Although, in the 2000s, he was kind of shafted aside, because Walter needed to have his story at the expense.
No.
What?
Sorry.
At the expense of other beloved and well-established Muppet characters. Come on, Robin.
Unfortunately, still no Walter because he's kind of pulling a Ron Howard. He's probably directing elsewhere until he comes back.
Well, I'm hoping that the Walter thing is kind of like a big reveal, you know what I mean? I'm hoping that's what they play it as.
Well, if he's not, if Walter's not going to pull in the Ron Howard and it's going to be called back as like a guest director or something like, he has to be like the network executive or something. That'd be hilarious. They kind of played him off as the network. Guys, I love the show, but doesn't feel like the old Muppet Show, That could be their meta take on it.
Right.
Say, I'm not feeling the love of the old show, guys. You can make it better. Okay, that's proof of the pudding. We got to make it better.
Okay, so
then
Scooter has oh god, Kermit. He's like my father, mentor.
Yes, safe to say Scooter has some daddy issues.
Oh, you think?
Well, we know he doesn't like Ken. Put on a robe, Ken.
All right, so he goes up to Carl. Hey, Carl, what?
First of all, I love Carl. I love when he comes back. What?
Well, it was a stressful morning this morning, so I'm going to treat everyone to coffee. I don't drink coffee. It agitates me. You want to explain the credit card?
So basically, Scooter gives him a credit card. Says, "Well, look, just ask everyone what they want for a coffee order, and just run to Starbucks or have someone go there and use the card." Says, "Well, who's Joe?"
Wait. They shouldn't go to fucking Starbucks because fucking Starbucks has red holiday cups, BlueDragonFive. They're just red. And they don't say Merry Christmas on them. It just agitates me. It just pisses me off. All right, I'm done. Did you like my acting? No, I'll take that as a no.
What's that a reference to?
You haven't heard about the red cup controversy?
Who gives a crap?
Apparently, a lot of people okay, you know what? Literally, people are going into Starbucks. Like, this is becoming a social media trend now. People are going into Starbucks, and when they ask, like, oh, what's your name? So they can write it on the cup, people are like, my name is Merry Christmas. Write Merry Christmas on the cup.
So? Why does it people write Merry Christmas on it then? So yeah, who's Merry? Who's Merry Christmas? Is anyone here by name Merry Christmas?
It's just all insane.
Who
That's all I can
cares?
say.
Just get your coffee and get out.
All right. Anyways, enough with the Starbucks.
Anyway,
I'm sorry. I just needed to include a little social commentary in there.
Anyway, I don't even think he mentioned Starbucks later on. So I guess it's Carl making the jump to Starbucks. Point is, get the coffee, using the card, and who's Joan? And Scooter reveals that's his mother, and he's trying to help his mother here by getting points on the credit card, so they can. So Joan can use it for her and Ken for a trip to Rome, which Scooter will have to buy his own ticket. Again, remember, folks, that's Ken. Put on a robe, Ken.
Yeah, we hit it. Yeah, that's horrible, though, Scooter having to buy it. I just would not want to go on the trip at that point. I'd just be like, all right, you guys go. Bye.
I don't know. I think they're still.
My reward is the house to myself.
I don't know. I don't think they're going to be able to take that trip to Rome. I think he's going to pull a Bates Motel on them. Just Scooter's
that got dark.
Like Scooter's mom's going to come in one day. It's just going to be Scooter in a wig.
Oh no! One step closer to that Bates Motel Muppet Show reunion.
And then the reveal is just going to be by the end of the episode. Just his mom looks exactly and sounds exactly like him, but he just walks up there. Oh, hi, Ma.
Or what if his mother is Vera Farmiga?
Oh my God, I would love that. Don't tempt me with that. I know it's not going to happen. You're just making under my wings with that.
I know.
You know how much I love that.
Okay.
Don't toy with my emotions like that.
Oh, Scooter.
Okay, anyway.
Scooter! Scooter!
Okay, anyway. Well, Mother.
Oh, God.
Okay, anyway.
I had a little talk with Ken. Right.
Okay, anyway.
We could literally go on for like a half hour with that.
Oh, it basically picks up the phone. It's Ken. Why don't you talk to him, Mother?
Okay. Let's
see. I'm walking in a manly fashion, in a masculine manner.
Like I said, we could literally just
have
a separate podcast.
Anyway, so you see we mentioned Ken. It's really sad. He has to buy his own ticket to Rome, and he's still subservient to Ken in some way, and he hates that. So, let's see. So then, then there's this great line. Once things go wrong, Scooter saying, when Carl says, "Hey, Scooter's, you want some Starbucks? Scooter's mom's buying." But before that, though, let's see. Yolanda mentions, she make mine order iced coffee. It's really hot in here.
Mm-hmm.
Scooter's wants to put the air conditioner on. And then
whoa, that masking tape's there for a reason. He's a frog. He likes it swampy.
And then everything hits the fan, or in this case, the AC.
Pretty much.
So what happens, Diggy?
Well, there's some alarming noises, but Scooter's assuring them, "Oh, it's okay, everybody. It's fine. It's just booting up." And then basically Beaker just gets blasted with cold air, gets blasted right up against the wall.
Yeah, the vent just completely falls from the ceiling, yet still connected, and as it turns on the Freon, which is very cold, as we learned from Dr. Honeydew, basically blasts him across the room and gives him Freon freeze. Then Carl, "Hey, Scooter's mom's buying. You want Starbucks?" Let's see. So, and Scooter just hilariously just turns the dial back. Okay, and he walks off, hoping it'll all go away and be better. Meanwhile, at the spa.
Yes. So Kermit is in the middle of a blueberry.
Yeah, it's mindful eating. It's basically his place is primarily focused on yoga. I'm getting the sense of.
It kind of reminds me of the wine tasting from Sideways. Not gonna lie.
Really?
Yes, it does.
Okay, so during this mindful eating,
stick your nose in it, right in there.
So during this mindful eating, basically a comedy of errors happens with Kermit here. I love the mundaneness of this with Kermit the Frog. He's he's about to eat the blueberries. Okay, there, pick up your blueberries. He's tosses it in his mouth and says, "Do not eat it." And then he says, "Now, appreciate your blueberry." As he picks it up from the ground, it's all covered in this. I will just, all the puppetry on Kermit or the Mondays, like you're like trying to blow the dirt off and cleaning it off in the water.
Mm-hmm.
Eats the blueberry, and then it's like, well, now drink your water. And if I were Kermit, I wouldn't eat. First of all, I wouldn't eat the blueberry, but that's beside the point. I wouldn't drink that water.
5-second rule, come on.
I don't care if it has all that. If something look, folks, if something hits the ground, you don't eat it. Period. Forget the 5
It's a fruit. It's a natural thing, anyways. It came from the ground.
No. 5-second rule there is a myth, okay, folks? Don't buy into it. There is no 5-second rule. It's there. It's dead on impact.
Wasn't there a clip from Inside Out about the 5-second rule that got cut?
Well, no, it's like a little promotional thing. It was there.
Oh, it was a promotional thing, but it wasn't in the actual movie, right?
Well, no, it's like on the DVD even, they have like little promotional reels. All those promotional things.
Okay, got it.
I'm still saying, there's no, forget the 5-second rule. It's stupid. Just don't do it.
All right. Forget the 5-second rule. Okay. It's not a big deal.
Well, you can make a big deal out of Starbucks. I can't make a big deal of the 5-second rule.
All right, fair enough.
Anyway, so after the comedy of errors, dropping it off, the spoiled blueberry, Jason, if it isn't Kermit the Frog, if it isn't Jason the Bateman, walks in. And again, bear in mind, folks, going to this episode, I'm thinking, okay, this could go either way, depending on how they play it. I like pleasant Jason Bateman, but I'm not too crazy about schwarmy, kind of conniving Jason Bateman.
And, oh my God, is this schwarmy and conniving Jason
Yeah. And again, this is just my taste of Bateman. I'm not crazy about this kind of Bateman. So if anyone else likes this Bateman, I'm sure they're in for a treat. I
was totally fine with it, because you know what I really love about this storyline is it shows just how much of a struggle Kermit has in terms of, like, it's absolutely impossible to say no to someone when they ask for his help. And I felt like that was a kind of a good examination into it. And like we said, Bateman does kind of have this schwarmy persona around him. So I thought he was a good guy to illustrate that. I enjoyed it.
And that's the thing. When Bateman, this kind of Bateman is the one that is just like, he's really pleasant. You kind of like him, but again, he's just like, he's so conniving, and he's like, so. Like, look at it. Here's a decent example. In the movie A Couples Therapy, the Peter Billingsley movie with Vince Vaughn, John Favreau, him, and the Couples Therapy. You know that one, right?
Never seen it, but yeah, I know.
Point is, basically, Bateman just convinces the whole gang. He basically kind of strong arms Vince Vaughn into going to couples therapy in a way, because he basically is worried about his really selfish reason for going on the thing, because he and Kirsten Bell are having relationship issues, and then just basically says, well, we need to go there, but we need like kind of like a couples discount, so we need like 3 other couples to go with us, which they all have their couples, and Vince Vaughn and Elaine Ackerman. Are basically strong-armed to go. He visits him like the middle of the night, like sets off the burglar alarm, pretty much stymies him into going. It's like you.
Sounds like an asshole.
Yeah, just you. It's like even the change-up. This is like the last example of Bateman. Let's establish my point on Bateman. It's like,
all right.
Big example. Look at the change-up movie with him and Ryan Reynolds. Not the best of movies, and the reason for that is Jason Bateman just kind of being able to play irresponsible Ryan Reynolds' character in the way when they switch bodies. So it's just Jason Bateman acting very unlikable. It's like, oh, God, I don't like this. It's like the worst parent. I get it. He's an immature guy, but still, it's just like, hey, I'm such an a-hole. I mean, come on.
Well, that's like saying you don't like Deadpool in a way.
That's the thing. I mean, Ryan Reynolds was much better as like slightly responsible. He even got to play with swords in that movie for a bit.
Oh God. Okay.
Anyway, so Jason the Bateman, once again starting off so well. I like the mundanity in the beginning here. His wife told him, what are you doing here? My wife told me to go here after I'm putting a production of Wicked at my daughter's elementary school.
Which, by the way, I love that. That's kind of a callback to Kristen Chenoweth.
Yeah. So, that's what I'm saying. I love the premise of why he's there. I love that sort of thing. They're just kind of exchanging some pleasantries doing.
Don't ask me what your character wants. You're a flying monkey. Just shut up and sing.
Yeah, but then here's where it starts kind of take off the rails for me. Just Bateman can't shut up after they get shushed. He just cannot. He's instigator. That's the thing. Bateman is just this side of Bateman is just pure instigator. It's like, oh, you. Yeah. It was basically he can't get He's asking Kermit for help producing, like some producing help. Essentially, he wants him.
Basically, he wants people to
costumes.
work. He wants people to work for free because the budget's $400 and they can't go out of that.
Yeah, Kermit mentioned, why don't you put your own money in it? And he says, well, I mean, they won't allow it. It's against the rules. It has to be all like donated to production. I tried. I love this line. Again, I like the setup for this. Just like I tried laundering the money in a bake sale, but then they caught me after I bought a $300 cupcake.
So
Kermit tries helping him out, saying, well, listen, I got a costume guy. He's whispering. He says, oh, I got a costume guy. Might help you. And he says, okay, that's good. Which I'm thinking, okay, this is pleasant. Kermit the Frog helping Jason Bateman. Okay, I can buy into this. And then he comes and says, also, I need a lighting guy. And so I start. I'm more worried at this point. Then after every point from that point.
And he also points out, I can't pay him, but the mother of Glenda went through a really tough divorce, so you know what I'm saying?
What do you mean you can't pay? You see, that's right there. You mean you can't pay him yet? Okay, first of all, you say you tried laundering money through the bake sale, yet you're too cheap to pay a guy who's gonna do free. I don't know.
All right.
Anyway. So let's see. Meanwhile, so again, your poor Kermit. It's like he's just being strong-armed by Jason Bateman, like poor Vince Vaughn.
But that's exactly what I like about the storyline, though. Like I said, Kermit is, by his own character, he's a pushover. You know what I mean? He always wants the best for everyone. So I thought it was actually kind of a really cool interaction, seeing him interact with such a swarmy asshole.
Yeah. No, I gotta tell you, I think it's just Bateman didn't get enough of comeuppance for me. I guess that's what's really sticking.
Bateman got absolutely no comeuppance whatsoever.
I guess that's what really kind of. I guess that's why I can't really let it go. It's just he got off scot free at our poor hair.
But I think that's the gag. I mean, that obviously is the gag.
Yeah. Again, well, yeah, it's my subjective taste, folks. I'm sorry, I won't bury it down. Moving on. So,
1 point for subjective. Mark it down, Steven.
Right. So let's say, so then they're trying to, meanwhile, back at the studio, they're trying to thaw a beaker, and that's Freon freeze. And I used to work on cryogenics. That's a big deal.
Cost me my chair at Berkeley.
I love that. He was at Berkeley. Oh, Dr. Hunt. He had to become a doctor at some point. Come on.
Oh yeah.
He's got credentials. Okay, then the most hilarious part of the episode.
Oh God.
Where to start? Oh my God, this is such a brilliant. I love everything. First of all, this whole sequence is brilliant. Just everything going wrong, which is in classic Muppets fashion.
Okay, first of all, let me point out the irony of a winter wardrobe being absolutely destroyed by cold, which is the exact thing that a winter wardrobe should protect you against.
Yep.
That's great unto itself. That's a great piece of subtle humor right there.
But just overall, seeing all of the children on the scooter instead of Kermit's a nice little change of pace. Like, let's see how Scooter deals with all this pressure and what goes wrong. All because he just wanted to be cooler in the room. That's the only mistake he made, folks. I want to make that clear. He just said, what the heck? Kermit's not here, and let's just turn the air conditioner on, and then everything went to heck because of one action.
This episode teaches us an important lesson. If there's a piece of masking tape over an air conditioning unit, just don't fuck with it. Just leave it alone. Leave it alone. The masking tape's there for a reason.
Or the other thing, just don't mess with the thermostat unless it's your own home.
Right.
Okay? You don't do that unless you own the thing. Anyway,
okay.
Let's see. So Piggy's being held back. You're seeing what the commotion is.
Why me? Why me?
So she's being held back by Uncle Deadly as grief-stricken in one of the finest, again, Miss Piggy's finest acting, really, in the show so far. Great. Just as her winter wardrobe is being hauled out, and Scooter's saying, "What happened? What happened?" Uncle Deadly explains. First of all, give us Piggy's best line of the episode's best delivery.
What is her best line?
My
winter wardrobe.
No,
I'm sorry. I don't.
My babies. My babies.
My babies.
No, I'm saying like with a little oomph, Tiggy. It's a little oomph.
It's done. It's over. Let's move on. I'm sorry.
My babies.
My babies.
All right. Anyway, so Uncle Dudley lectures Scooter and some physics that the condensation destroyed the wardrobe because the air conditioner was completely destroyed. I guess remember they kept it in refrigeration. That's the idea.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just drenched in water, which is pretty hilarious. So again, except for this one number she's wearing, which is not really that forgiving.
This is on your head, boy.
Oh my god, I love this is on your head, boy. So Piggy has hopes of like, well, what if we like steam clean them, and then Uncle Dave says, look at me,
Oh,
Piggy, they're gone. Very hilarious.
Scooter gives a curse. Oh, fiddle faddle.
Fiddle, fiddle, faddle. Anyway, let's see. So we see Chef's butter has melted completely.
Just forming a big pool on the floor.
Yep.
Carl comes back with the coffee. He spills it. It goes everywhere, but it lands especially on Beaker. Beaker is just screaming in pain, just an absolute. This might be the most in pain that Beaker's ever been in.
I don't know. He's been through a lot.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, a lot.
Yeah. But Honeydew, of course, is like, there's no hotter face than a coffee face.
Yep.
And then we have lights exploding in the theater. Oh my god, it's chaos.
Yep, and Bobo giving the explanation, the condensation melding with the electronics.
Janice and Sam are there. Janice is just like, oh, it's like fireworks.
I'm a fire goddess. Look at me. It's me too. And then the blackout happens.
You know what fireworks remind me of? They remind me of a luau on the beach of Waikiki.
This bit's like Sam trying too hard. Like, come on, man.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, you're a patriot, for God's sake. For God's sake, Sam.
Yeah, don't call yourself a fire goddess, man. You have more class than that.
I'm kind of quoting Gotham with that too. For God's sake, Sam. Anyway, so then the blackout happens, and I just love this Bobo having this line after the flashlight's gone. So, what's the plan, boss? I broke the show. I broke Kermit's show. He's freaking out. He's run to another room. He's about to, throw in the towel. Gonzo kind of steps in to give him some pep talk. Let's see. So Gonzo says, sometimes you need to ask for help. That's what I learned, and when I went through Niagara Falls. You should also learn how to speak French to ask for help too. It's helpful.
In case you end up in the French part of Canada.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Kermit's in the middle of an activity.
Like a hand moving exercise.
Which I gotta tell you, it was kind of impressive puppetry.
It was.
Anyway, so then Bateman interrupts and he's like, hey, I don't like that he's insulting this poor yoga lady.
No.
Yeah, your stretch pants, go buy yourself a coffee or something, whatever he says. I'm like, come on, man.
I gotta talk to the frog.
First of all, Bateman, he's not even trying to put up a front of like, yeah, I'm trying to keep this under the down. He's not even like doing a little hand exercise or Kermit has to talk, and none of that.
That's true. That's true.
Just so intrusive, this side of Bateman. I hate this side of Bateman.
But that's the joke of it, though.
I'm just saying in general, I hate
the joke of it.
I'm saying in general, I hate that side of Bateman.
I get that, but you're just not seeing the humor in this. You're not seeing the humor in the interaction here.
Well, I'm saying I see the humor, but it loses steam for me. I can't maintain that humor. It's like, I get it, but it's anyway. So, let's see. Oh, Reg, Kermit's guy. He gave him on the phone. He won't give him a deal. What do you mean he won't give him a deal? How do you even have phones?
Well, you're not allowed pizza either. Okay.
Why don't you grab a slice and call your guy and talk him into a deal for me? So again, just Bateman here is just pushy and he's just so sorry, I don't know where I was going for there.
He's just self-obsessed.
Self-entitled, that's what I'm looking for. But yeah. Anyways, then he leaves and he says, Kermit says, I'm even pushing my sleep apnea machine, which, by the way, I look mundane. Kermit needs a sleep apnea machine.
Right.
It was then Bateman leaves, and then after he apologized, gives like a half-hearted apology of saying, "Well, I'm sorry for making my problems your problems." Okay, he leaves, comes back, says, I really thought I was going to guilt you into it. Well, I thought I wasn't going to be able to help you, but we both know it's not true.
So let's go. No, I gotta say that bit right there is what sold me on that storyline.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Kermit's side of this. Of course, Kermit has to help Bateman, and he's desperate.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's not really about Bateman. We're not supposed to like Bateman.
That's what I'm saying, though. I'm just saying, Kermit helping people. I wish it was like more of a sympathetic guy to help out. Like, how can you say no to this guy less than just the...
But the whole point of the storyline is that he's helping out a non-sympathetic guy, and he knows this guy's a dick, but he just can't help himself because he's just that nice of a guy. I don't know. This is one of those storylines where I feel like we're really disagreeing on it. We're going back and forth on this one quite a lot.
So let's see. There's a following that. Oh yeah, they're on the phone, and Kermit's giving them some great deals. By the way, he's on the phone, basically. Okay, I get you free costumes, but he just wants to mention the program. Oh, by the way, I need a program guy. So first of all, Jason Bateman, this version of Jason Bateman, this fictional version of Jason Bateman. He is the worst person to put in charge of a child's play. I just want to point that out.
Well, yeah, I won't deny you that.
He has nothing ready. He has no programs, no costumes, no lighting. He's got nothing.
He probably hasn't rehearsed with the kids at all.
Yeah.
I mean, he got fed up when a flying monkey asked their motivation.
And I have severe doubts that, I don't know if it was a weekend or a week in his case. I guess it's a weekend, maybe, that he's going away for this thing. Do you really have that much time to kill if you're this stressed out for the production? If you're this low on time and resources for the production?
Probably not.
That's what I'm saying. The holes in the story kind of reveal themselves. I mean, Bane has nothing together. I mean, how? Anyway, so let's see. So again, Bateman, no programs. Then they're caught by the director lady of the retreat. Kermit begs her not to kick him out, and then because he really needs this, and he does. And your heart goes out to Kermit. He does need some stress relief, and Bateman just throws him under the bus. Tell him I was just helping Jason. Tell him. Bateman says, oh no, he has a problem. Again, he's throwing him under the bus. He's not just saying no. He's not just nodding no. He's saying no. This guy has a problem. That's what I'm talking about.
I will admit that this is kind of where Bateman crossed the line when he physically put his hands on Kermit to kick him out.
I love Kermit sticking up for himself. They're like, don't touch me.
But I was like, all right, that's one step too far. Buddy.
Part of me would like to think that he was using Bateman's cell phone and just took it. A part of me would like to think that, but I know Kermit, he's not going to do that. It's just going to.
Or if he did take it, it was just accidentally, and he'll mail it back.
Yeah, part of me just wishes Kermit would give it to a homeless guy. Get some good going. Hey, make all the calls you want. Just make every single call. Run as many minutes as you like.
Okay.
Call your stockbroker. So, let's see. So after the don't touch me bit, we get Scooter and Gonzo. We get Scooter and Gonzo scene.
Mm-hmm. Scooter wants to take off, but Gonzo, he's pointing out the hang in there kitty poster.
First of all, that kitten's a lie. You're a model. How hard do you have it?
Right. I mean, we never really considered that before.
Gonzo points out, the Titanic as an example of, the brave men, and the captain went down with the ship. That's what he did. And they says, well, no, on the Titanic, I'm the man dressed as a lady. Getting on the boats. I'm ashamed but alive. That's me. So that was a hilarious line.
Yeah, it was. What's the biggest motto of Hollywood?
No, it's the
oldest. Yeah. This is where we should put Hollywood.
No. The show must go on. Well, how can that pre-exist Hollywood then? How can that be the old? How can that? Because it would have to go before Hollywood if it's not. This is where to put the Hollywood sign. There's no Hollywood without the sign. Apparently. And here's Gonzo saying to Scooter here, well, I believe in you. I believe you can do this, Scooter.
Yeah, which I think this is a really, really sweet moment, and I kind of hope this whole Scooter and Gonzo dynamic gets developed more in the future as well.
There's one more Gonzo. Oh, I love Gonzo stories.
Well, we are going to get a Gonzo-centric episode soon, so look forward to that.
I mean, Liam Hemsworth stole his girlfriend and everything. I want something good to happen to Gonzo.
And fuck Muppets from space.
Ugh.
I'm sorry you set me up with that by saying you love Gonzo stories.
Anyway, so after Scooter thanks Gonzo and thanks the kitten model poster. Let's see. He says, "You have to do this. I'm going to do this. Yay!" He said. Meanwhile, the idea Scooter came up with is really clever, actually. Is to basically reformat the show to energy
Conservation?
Yes, energy conservation.
That is like the definition of taking lemons and making lemonade.
Yes. It's like this candlelit stage, and he's talking about the subject at hand there, and just like it's revealed from Bobo that they basically managed to work some golf carts out to power the camera and keep all the lights off, and it worked out really nicely. And also, they got a non-electronic band.
Oh yeah.
They got let's see, they got the Pentatonics or Panatronics.
I don't know. I know they're a YouTube group actually.
I think it's Pentatonics, kind of like an acapella-ish group.
Sure, yeah, Pentatonics. Let's go with that.
Right.
But yeah, they're mostly known from YouTube, so I think that's kind of cool. A YouTube group getting involved with the Muppets.
Yeah. Gonzo mentions, he keeps he knows way too much about the Miss America contest, and he needs a girlfriend.
Camilla.
I don't know. Again, it's a question. Did they date just for the movies and the shows and stuff, or was it an actual thing?
I think they need to address it because technically, this is the thing. Is that this is kind of the frustrating thing? Is that the Muppets 2011 kind of acknowledges the movies happened, and yet then the Muppets Most Wanted acknowledges that the Muppets 2011 was a movie.
That's the thing.
Continuity is all over the place.
And of course, way back in the Muppet movie, they imply those events are kind of a little fabricated, but it's
right.
It's an adaptation of what happened. It's always an unreliable narrator of some sort.
I think the Muppets literally might have the most fucked up continuity of anything.
Okay, anyway, so let's see. So then, Sam and Janice, a little Hawaii chat, and then Sam's asking her to Hawaii, and then she points out, "You're on fire."
You're on fire.
And Sam actually is on fire, and poor Sam is on fire, and he's running around in a panic.
Sattler and Waldorf.
I noticed this. So we should probably. I meant to address this by now, but we've seen. Okay, so the running gag with these two is that they actually like the stuff compared to the Muppet Show, where they didn't like anything.
That's actually a good point. Yeah, I didn't really notice that before.
So now it's official. They just keep bringing it up that they really like. They're not so reluctantly liking the stuff now. It's like you don't want to jump in with that baseline, do you? And then they jump in with the baseline for the group. And how do you feel about that? It feels a little unnatural.
I don't know. We'll have to see where it goes. I'm with you. It does feel a little unnatural, but maybe it's just that this is a more professional production than the Muppet Show was.
Well, come on.
I mean, obviously it was, yeah. So maybe that's it. Maybe it's just the fact that this show can actually maintain itself and keep itself together, and the Muppet Show clearly couldn't. I don't know.
It's uncharted territory,
It's not a huge issue for me, but I do see what you're saying, and that it feels a little off.
Meanwhile, best scene in the episode.
Yeah, because
we get a love letter to the scene from the big old homage to the Muppet movie, and I loved every second of it. I thought
it was fantastic.
Oh man, I love this so much. So Kermit and Rolf are having a little scene at Rolf's Tavern, and it's exactly almost identical to the scene when they kind of first met in the Muppet movie, and I loved it. Piano's playing in the background. It's
really literally almost frame for frame. It's kind of crazy.
It's a very profound chat. I mean, they can do moments like this. That keeps us coming back. They can pull off stuff like this. I mean, come on, that's magical.
What I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
One of two sequences we get in this episode. I mean, come on.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so Kermit the Frog, really profound chat too. I love the way he has these profound chats. Gotta remember, these are essentially the two oldest Muppets in a way. These are the two kind of big standing Muppets, Rolf and Kermit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, remember these two, and technically these two started Sesame Street together because they pitched it to the PBS.
Right.
No, not PBS. They pitched to network heads, which they're part of an association. I want to say PBS, but it's something else.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
I don't like those new age places. They tell you to relax, but then they kick you out with the squirrels who won't mind their own damn business.
Yeah, Kermit wishes he was like selfish people, But then Rolf points out, well, no, then you wouldn't be you.
And that's not a way to live. Took me a long time to accept that I was half corgi. Guess that's why I can't dance.
So, Rolf, what do you do to unwind after, what do you unwind the stress? Well, I go home, I draw a bath, and of course, it's like the whole, take myself for a walk, get a beer, all that stuff from the original
totally.
movie. The equivalent to that is, I go home, I draw a bath, I run around the house, chew on an old shoe.
Reminds me of a simpler time.
Very nice. It's a fantastic little line from Rolf there. So, I actually got one right here. It pulls one out. You want it? I love that Rolf offers Kermit. Again, there's pleasantries for you right there. Offers him a chew with the shoe. Obviously, Kermit's not going to take. Well, I think I should find my own thing. He respectfully declines and says, "Oh, you sure? I mean, look here. You got here's a what's the
an odor eater? So you got that smoky taste.
Yeah, an odor eater for the smoky taste, and an after dinner finish with the
gum.
The gum is kind of minty aftertaste."
You sure? No, go ahead, Rolf.
Puts that little sign back in 10 minutes and doesn't go anywhere. He just eats the shoe. Which is great. Chewing on the shoe for 10 minutes in plain sight in front of a sign that says back in 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
So we see Kermit's back 3 weeks later at the studio. I mean, we don't know if he's been gone. He's back yet again after 3 weeks. He's relaxed a lot far more. And they got Dempsey. He's back.
Well, yeah, book him before he rubs up against something else.
I wonder if that's a little bar at Patrick Dempsey, because sometimes I hear he might be a little difficult to work with.
Whoa.
I'm just saying, that's what I hear. I don't know anything about the guy. I hear good things. I hear a few negative things, like Edward Norton,
I don't think he's the same scale as Edward Norton.
Well, of course.
It's just notorious. But then again, that's why I love Norton's role in Birdman, because he was totally owning who he was.
Anyways, let's see. So then we have the Carl. Kermit now more well adjusted to the stresses of the job. Carl got into a fight with the delivery guy, ate his shirt.
The box said this side up, and he put it this side down.
Chip wants Kermit to talk to the FBI because he was playing video games, and they thought he was hacking into stuff, and it was like Pepe and Rizzo, a prank by them, says, "Wait, I have friends.
They're messing with me." Sweetums just comes up, "Toilet's clogged."
Yes, I love that he has the newspaper in terms of he's the guy that clogged the toilet.
Oh, God.
I would like to think that Kermit did not have to attend to that, but yeah.
Let's.
Where's Bo? We need Bo for a job like this.
Oh, God.
Beauregard. Meanwhile, Kermit now reveals he has a stress reliever, in his backyard.
I finally got myself my own dirty old sneaker.
Yep. And this is nice. I love this reveal. You see in the
ripped out my pool, and I built a little piece of home.
And we see a mock-up of the swamp from the original.
Oh, I love this ending. I fucking love this ending.
It's great, but there's one bit in there that, again, I'm just questioning. I'm not knocking it. I'm just questioning. Does it cheapen the moment? But it's a little piece of home. He starts playing the Rainbow Connection song.
Why are there so many songs about rainbow?
Learn another song. Chill out, Phil. So what do you think?
What's on the other side? I like that. I actually, that moment made me laugh out loud.
Because it's a meta joke. It's like the whole thing.
It's totally a meta joke.
He always sings the rainbow song. It's a beautiful moment, though. Does it cheapen at all by interruption like that, saying, "Well, chill out, Phil"?
It's totally a meta joke, and I was completely fine with it.
Because people are going to harp on that, saying, "Well, it's like old Muppets versus new Muppets. Like, how can we trample over the old beloved stuff and like poking fun at it?" But no, it's Keeping it real.
It's loving homage is what it is.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying it's, there's some sort of debate among huge Super Muppet fans about that.
Mm-hmm. So my favorite part about this episode is the fact that for such a wild and crazy and zany episode, it ends on such a quiet note, man.
Yeah, I mean,
it ends on just Kermit singing the last notes of Rainbow Connection, and it's freaking beautiful.
Yeah, the tag is just him finishing the song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's lovely.
La da 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 do.
The lovers, the dreamers, and me. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, that was a really, really classy choice, I think. I gotta say, man, overall, the more we talk about this might be my favorite episode of the series.
It's a good episode, but yeah, it's that Bateman stuff just still takes me out of it a little bit. That's just me.
Yeah, but I've defended the Bateman stuff, and you know my stance on the Bateman stuff, so that's why I personally think the Bateman stuff stands up with everything else. I mean, this episode just has so much going for it. I think it's got that opening bit which homages Birdman, which is fucking awesome. It's got like some of the best Piggy and Deadly scenes in the series. It's got a really good progression of Scooter's arc. I will agree that the Jason Bateman stuff is probably the least memorable part of this episode, but at the same time, I appreciate it, and I don't really think it drags the episode down in any way. Right. And then, of course, it's got that loving homage at the end. It's got two loving homages right in a row with Rolf in the bar, and then with the Rainbow Connection. So. Yeah, I would definitely say it's my favorite.
Yeah, well, let me say this. Okay, so barring the Bateman thing, that's just my preference. That's why I'm not. But an actual criticism for the episode, though. I mean, I'm talking about more. I'm liking it more. Again, the Bateman stuff still sticking to my crawl. But I'll tell you my one gripe we should probably bring up, though, is that I don't know. It still goes by really quickly. You know, that's kind of an issue with just the whole thing of doing a half-an-hour Muppet show like this. But
that's the issue with doing half-hour shows, man. I actually thought out of all the episodes, this was probably one of them that wrapped up all the storylines, most of the storylines at least. I mean, Bateman didn't get his comeuppance, but I think the point was that Bateman didn't get his comeuppance. Other than that, I thought things all kind of wrapped up really well for the most part.
I'm saying when you look at it, though, it kind of goes by quickly, but then they don't have really any other choice because it's only 20 minutes.
And honestly, that's kind of a thing that I think is impressive about the episode is the fact that there's all this zany shit going on in such a short amount of time. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Scooter thing was very satisfying how that panned out, you know?
It was, for sure. And I also thought the Kermit thing was very satisfying. I thought most of it was satisfied.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so those were our final thoughts, I guess. So you want to get into speculation?
No, what do we got?
Okay, so I guess the only thing we can really speculate on do you have anything in terms of just broad stroke storylines?
Well, as I mentioned, we kind of speculate on Walter coming back in some way.
Of course, there's the whole reboot thing that's kind of like looming.
Yeah, that is looming. So basically, when they reach the episode 10 mark, after that, we're just going to be waiting until next year, really, for them to come back with kind of the retooling of the Muppet Show.
I'd like to see the Kermit and Scooter thing have some kind of a crescendo to it. I'd like to see some sort of wrap up of that or some sort of because I feel like that's, like I said, I feel like it's one of the things that's been kind of throughout most of the episodes is this kind of like father-son dynamic in a way that the two of them have.
I'm still not sure if it's going exactly in the father-son direction with those two. I think that was just kind of like a gag.
Yeah, you're right. It's a mentor role.
It's absolutely a mentor thing.
Yeah.
I guess maybe it's kind of a Pinkman White dynamic.
Well, I think it's much less destructive than that.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying in terms of kind of a mentor quasi-father thing.
I mean, keep in mind, Walt did kind of fuck up Jesse's whole life.
He did, but he saved them.
He did.
A lot. He saved them a lot. And Jane was a bad influence.
She was. All
That's
right.
all I'll say.
Okay, so going into episode titles, we have Too Hot to Handler.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
So Ralph Garman's going to love that episode. For those that don't know, Ralph Garman from All Louis Babylon and K-Rock, he is not a fan of Chelsea Handler, so that's what I'm mainly thinking when I'm watching that episode of. I think.
And this episode also features the return of Becky, so it's nice to know that that relationship's still going on. I just hope they don't fuck it up like they did last time. Episode 9 has me excited. It's called Going Gonzo!
That's good.
Which makes me kind of speculate Gonzo might be perhaps retiring from the Muppets or something like that.
Well, he might be contemplating leaving the show for other opportunities, perhaps.
Maybe we'll see a bit of Camilla. I doubt it, but
I don't know.
maybe.
Again, we don't know where they really stand with their relationship. We haven't really seen any chickens in this.
No, we haven't
at all.
Yeah. And then we have episode 10 is Single All the Way, which, what if that implies to Kermit?
Yeah, might be it. That might be the big Denise debacle.
Right. It could be. Interesting.
Also, I think wherever this season ends, they're going to have to work in like a ratings episode at some point. Like, oh, we're not getting good ratings. We got to change the obligatory ratings episode, or like the ratings plot line of like, oh, we're not getting good ratings. We got to do something to pull it off.
Where do you think the Sam and Janice thing is going? Do you think it's just going to get more awkward?
Well, if they're smart, they might play the single thing as kind of the other storyline within that Kermit episode, perhaps. Like, Kermit has his thing going on, and Sam is like kind of reconciling. Oh, and maybe that could be a good bonding episode for Sam and Kermit, perhaps.
That would be great.
I envy the single life. I hate the single life. Okay. But seriously, I mean, that could actually be a good dynamic there.
Mm-hmm.
I really hope they're not going in the direction of maybe Fozzie finally breaks up. Again, when I say finally, I don't mean I want him to do this. I'm just saying that she finally is fed up with Fozzie's crap and she leaves him. And then he's alone. That would be kind of leading up to that single episode with Fozzie being the single one. I don't know. I'm just saying, I hate how they keep ending the Becky episodes with her in an ambiguous place in the relationship.
I know, it's annoying. It's annoying.
I like the girl, I like the family. Keep them around. Don't leave it ambiguous.
All right. So I guess is that all the speculation? We have Jennifer Lawrence coming up. We have Mindy Kaling.
Yeah.
Michelle Pfeiffer, which is exciting.
They were all right.
Sofia Vergara.
That's nice.
I'm sorry, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a good. Those are some great guests lined up.
And Kerry Washington.
Oh, she's good.
So yeah. So those are some really good guest stars coming up. So
I still don't hear Vera Farmiga. I'm hoping next time.
That is definitely our dream guest, isn't it?
Either her or Highmore, or I doubt it, but Max they're it.
Okay. But no, I'm wondering. Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Kermit, I've got some black socks you can wear.
And know what?
Thanks, Max. But I think I'm good.
Now that you mention it, I also have some black socks. They're right here, and you can borrow them anytime.
Then Gonzo says, well, do you have any socks for me? I'm sorry, Gonzo, I lost the rest. And Scooter's saying, oh, wait, I really need the black socks. I'm going on a date with Olivia Cook. Well, I'm sorry, Scooter. I can't help you out.
All right. I
Are
think
you
that's
sure about that, Dylan?
Oh, God. All right. I think that's a good note to end out on. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for joining us. Until next time, when we talk about the Muppet Show again. Yay! She makes really good soup.